Boruto finally made it back to Konoha to try to save Sarada, which would have been fantastic if Code hadn't already FedExed her to another dimension. And while everyone is wondering who Boruto needs to fight next, the person he might actually need most is somebody who barely fights at all, because Sumire disappearing from the board right before Boruto potentially loses control feels extremely important and convenient when she is already proven to be capable of pulling someone back from the edge. And if Kashin Koji's worst futures are to be avoided, Sumire might be the person who stops Boruto from making the exact mistake that got everyone killed. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, breaks down why the quiet person in the room might be the calming presence that Boruto needs to navigate this Sarada crisis that has unfolded. Also, with the manga on break this month, more of the Patreon exclusive videos will be debuting here on YouTube for all viewers to see. So far, we've already dropped the Obito video essay, the Hagoromo video, the Kakashi and Kaguya video essay, but we have videos on Deidara, Sasori, Iwabe, Jiraiya, and other lore-based content coming that have been behind the Patreon paywall for as long as 8 months in some cases. For Boruto fans, particularly people who missed the anime, I've got a couple of monster videos coming. One of them is well over 2 hours that can scratch that itch if you're missing the Boruto anime. Video link down below if you need an update on where the anime is. Not gonna explain it here. The obvious conversation after Sarada getting kidnapped is about who Boruto needs to bring with him, but that was more so because we know he clearly can't be trusted to go at it alone right now. Kashin Koji was ready to shove a Rasengan into the side of Boruto's face to try to stop him from teleporting after Sarada, but Boruto did it anyway. Yet the point still stands. Boruto can't be trusted to go alone right now. The only question is who does he take with him? Does he grab Kawaki? Seems logical. Does he grab Mitsuki? A bit left field, but seems logical. Team 7 connection. Does Boruto attempt to rescue Sarada himself? Absolutely. Maybe even tosses Konohamaru out there as a living sacrifice. All of those are very viable options, but personally, this is where, from a craft perspective, you should start subverting expectations when readers expect it the least. A lot of the discourse that I've seen has been surrounding the idea that Boruto rushes in and a big battle kicks off for Volume 10 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. That's exactly why you subvert readers' expectations and call for a beat, which means call for a pause for readers and Boruto a chance to catch their breaths for a moment. The reason being is everyone is asking the wrong questions. It shouldn't be who does Boruto take with him or how quickly does Boruto pull up to Code with a Rasengan and say respect me. The proper first question should be who stops Boruto from doing something stupid. Right now, Boruto Uzumaki is currently standing in one of the most dangerous emotional positions he's been in throughout Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. What's happened here is potentially up there with him going through the trauma of Sasuke being struck down by Code while Boruto had to run away. He failed the father and now potentially he has failed the daughter that he swore to protect. Sarada trusted in his plan. She allowed herself to be used as bait. Boruto trusted in Kashin Koji's information about the future and they lost because from the moment one decides to start breaking the future, they risk inevitably running into a new future that was unforeseen, which is exactly what happened. Code figured out what it was they were doing. Removed Boruto's markers from Sarada, captured her, and disappeared through the claw mark before Boruto could stop him. Boruto arrived too late. The flaw to his Flying Raijin over long distances is that he needs time to lock on to the signature of his marker, and while it is being held by someone, Boruto has as much of a hard time finding the intended marker to teleport to as he did before. And really and truly, by his own words, it becomes even harder to sense his chakra when it's being covered up by the chakra of another living person. He arrived too late, and we saw that rare moment where his emotions finally showed. Throughout Boruto 2 Blue Vortex so far, Boruto has suppressed his emotions and carried the weight in the knowledge that his actions are the key for saving the world from Jura. Rarely has this mask cracked over the 36 chapters we've had so far, roughly only a handful of chapters, but as the battle with Jura gets closer and closer, we see Boruto's mask breaking more often than before. This is in back-to-back arcs where we've seen it. It's almost as if the narrative is telling us that the closer to Jura that Boruto gets, the more he risks losing those who he cares for. And it is because Jura is and always was an extinction level crisis that Boruto has been preparing for. Boruto may be a hardened shinobi right now, but at the end of the day, he's still a child. You have to remember that. That's why Kashin Koji's attempted warning to tell Boruto to stop was so important. He's already seen multiple futures where Boruto ultimately trades his life for Sarada. Boruto is their only hope, and he knows it, and Boruto knows it, but Boruto also knows that if it comes down to his life or Sarada's life, Kashin Koji and himself will have different priorities. Boruto will choose Sarada. Kashin Koji will choose Boruto over anyone. Think about what that tells us. Sarada is one of Boruto's emotional breaking points, and when emotions get in the way of logic, bad things more often than not tend to happen. That's exactly why Sumire makes the most sense, to serve as the expectations being subverted for us as readers, the very thing that we are not expecting to happen. Sumire doesn't need to fight. The knee-jerk reaction is people might say, why Sumire? When the next reaction should be, why not Sumire? The problem is most people look at it and say, hey, this is a battle shonen. Who can Sumire beat in a fight? To which I say she doesn't need to, and it makes more sense when you think about one of Ikimoto's biggest influences both as a artist and as a writer, which is the late great Akira Toriyama. In Dr. Slump, the mega hit title before Dragon Ball debuted, think of Dr. Slump being a bigger impact than Black Clover has now. Toriyama had Senbi Norimaki, scientists who ended up building Arale, the cyborg. In Dragon Ball, when you read beyond just the battles, arguably the most important character of the series that you had was Bulma, also a scientist. It's the Bulma comparison I want you guys to think about because there are some overlaps with her and Sumire, even though there are clear character differences. Early Boruto manga showed flashes of Sumire's potential as a scientist, just as early Dragon Ball manga showed flashes of Bulma's brilliance. As time passed in Boruto, we've increasingly seen Sumire's sharp mind on display and her growing skills as a scientist, improving rapidly. The same is true for Bulma. Roughly 200 chapters after her introduction, she was reverse engineering alien technology and making strides at creating things that were several years ahead of all the other scientists. Sumire has been in Amato's lab, a lab with technology that is several years ahead of Konoha. She's been there for 3 years directly working underneath him, and when she made Boruto's new sword, while it did come from a scroll that Boruto gave her with research from another version of Sumire that made it in the future, it still pushes the agenda that Sumire's growth in the scientific field, it is improving rapidly. Amato may be the smartest scientist now, Katasuke may be the second smartest. Don't be shocked if Sumire ends the series as the smartest scientist. You don't have to shatter a moon by throwing a rock at it or destroy the sun like Arale did in both of those cases, or fire off a ki blast or a Genki Dama like Goku did, or a Rasengan or a super giant Rasengan like Naruto. Sometimes you contribute by bringing your mind to the table, and even Naruto's manga stressed this as a point, that not everything is solely about how much destructive power you have. Nobody is suggesting that she needs to go to the Ten Tails dimension or wherever it is that Code took Sarada. If that happens, she is a liability and Code probably dies of laughter the moment he sees her and wonders who approved of this team-up mission. Yet Boruto needs her, and she proved why on 2 different occasions. The first was back in Boruto Part 1. Omnipotence was casted, and even when she didn't have all the answers, she pieced everything together enough to figure out what happened, and she served as a calming presence for Sarada. Her words also served as one of the final pushes to get Sarada to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, because Sumire's words helped a confused Sarada truly understand the gravity of Boruto's situation, and it shattered her mentally, which ultimately sent Sasuke to save Boruto. The second time was back when she improved Sasuke's sword. She didn't need to learn the Hagoromo style technique that Sasuke taught Boruto. She just needed to understand how it worked, and using that scroll, she improved upon the sword to be better in terms of service to Boruto and added new material beyond the sword being able to drain the chakra of anyone not linked to the sword. She added value in that moment. In both moments, showing her intelligence earned her the right to be the only anime-only character introduced in Boruto's anime to make it into the manga as far as being drawn on the pages. Meaning we're not counting that Boruto file that Ukyo Kodachi wrote about Dinky in the Boruto manga several years ago. Right now, Boruto has some dangerous techniques, but they aren't perfect at all. They all have flaws. That Hagoromo style that Sasuke taught him, Boruto couldn't do it as naturally as Sasuke, which is why the moment he stopped running chakra through that blade, it chipped when Boruto fought Jura. It also is why we can say Boruto's sword broke when Code attacked Boruto and Sasuke, which down in the description box, I'll have a video I made 3 years ago about why Boruto's broken sword has significance and why it was a sign of Boruto's lack of mastery as a swordsman and a cultural significance that was hidden behind it that Japanese readers caught. We didn't catch as Western fans though. Boruto's sword was adjusted to fix that. Now a mere flick of the wrist is enough, and Boruto doesn't have to think when using that skill. The next thing Boruto needs help with is the Flying Raijin. He's inferior to Minato in many ways. Whereas Minato could place a marker on someone's very skin, track it with no issues, and the marker wouldn't even be removed unless someone had Biju chakra sealed inside of them, Boruto can't do any of that. He can't even mark massive objects without intense concentration, according to the database entry that Ikimoto made, comparing Boruto and Minato's Flying Raijin. Long distances require Boruto a long time to lock onto. Sumire showing up when Boruto is at this low point offers a chance for her to add something to the markers that Boruto uses to cut down that window. It continues what Boruto was taught by Naruto and Sasuke about ninja tools. They should never replace your ninja training and skill, but there is nothing wrong with using them to improve what you already have. This would fall into that category, improving what Boruto already has. Right now, Boruto's Flying Raijin is someone basically owning a supercharged 6.2 liter engine, and they're only average at best at driving a 6-speed transmission. Sure, they can drive a little fast, but that clutch slips every now and then. They're not getting the most out of their car, the way that a truly skilled person would, which most Americans can't drive a stick shift. Throwing that out there. Boruto, he's that person. Minato, on the other hand, is the one that is capable of handling that heavy clutch like a pro. Sumire, stepping in with tools, is basically the person advising, hey, maybe you should switch from that 6-speed manual to the 8-speed automatic. Not because you're not skilled as a driver, you can clearly drive, but where your skill set is right now, it's not enough. And if you drive this, you could be even faster. A new and improved way to use the Flying Raijin will make Boruto that person with that 8-speed automatic. In time, they may even be able to beat out that seasoned veteran who uses a 6-speed manual, because automatic transmission doesn't always beat the person driving the manual transmission version of the same car, which in Naruto terms, that means that Boruto may eventually become faster at the Flying Raijin than his grandfather. Code had that big brain plan of his to take away the Flying Raijin markers, but he may have just forced Boruto into a situation where evolution might come as a result of it. It further raises Sumire's stock in the process, without turning her into Tony Stark with purple hair, which, side note, I'm totally wondering now if that ain't the reason that Sumire has purple hair, because Bulma in Dragon Ball's manga has purple hair, it's blue in the anime. Ikimoto is a big fan, just something to kind of put your eyes on when you think about it. You get the opportunity to have Sumire be of service to both Boruto and Sarada yet again, but only in reverse. We saw what her interactions with Sarada did that led to Sarada sending Sasuke to save Boruto. Now, she has a chance to do it in reverse by being that calming presence and offer support to Boruto to ultimately help save Sarada. It's a beautiful symmetry available to the story to explore, and potentially be the reason Boruto doesn't allow Momoshiki to take over, is she can calm him before it ever gets to that point. Assuming, of course, that the Sarada crisis is what led to the Momoshiki hijacking. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking on the left for that Naruto Explained video, or clicking on the right for this video that YouTube says you would definitely enjoy watching.